Hi, Jordan. It's great to have you back in the studio with us here this afternoon. How are you doing? And in particular, how are you doing as Valentine's Day approaches?
Great to be back here, Chris. And Valentine's Day is coming, and I've built a bunch of stuff as I always do to kind of celebrate the day and at least give people pause to think about love and what it may or may not mean to them.
You were in studio with me a couple of weeks ago recording a spot, and as it turns out to be one of my favorite spots that we have on the air right now. Let's take a listen to it.
Is it the end of the world? No, it's Valentine's Day, and something enchanting and affordable is waiting at the top of the curly stairs in the Forks Market. The Jordan Van Sewell Gallery. It's something else. You'll love it.
It's such a great spot, Jordan. But tell me, do you really believe that the world is ending or that the sky is falling?
You know, Chris, I have to admit that was the Quentin Tarantino method of shock to get people's attention. And of course, it was followed up by the unequivocal answer, no, the world is not ending. But I think anybody who has a vested interest in the future probably wants to know what's going on. So for me, it's an opportunity to invite people to come down and look at some art.
That's great. I fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole a couple of days ago. I was programming actually the Saturday morning show, and I was programming some Valentine's music, and I was doing some reading about it, and I came across this funny story where apparently some Roman emperor, I think Claudius II, forbade soldiers from getting married, and then a priest named Valentine agreed to marry people in private. Where I'm going with this is, what inspires your ceramic works around the theme of Valentine's Day and romance?
Well, it sounds like love is really a multi-splendor thing, and I wasn't aware of that account, but I'm glad somebody was taking care of it in the old days, because nowadays it seems that, a lot of people have tried to turn it into a Hallmark holiday, whereas it really does have its roots in the idea of maybe spring's on its way, maybe love springs eternal. There's a number of things that I think transcend modern living. So for me, I like to ponder on just how it is in the 21st century. And unfortunately, I can only go back as far as thinking, how about the inspiration of music? How about it like Burt Bacharach and Dionne Warwick singing "What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love." And I think, outside of that statement, what else can you say?
Mm-hmm. It sort of leads to my next question. I know that when you're making your ceramic creations in your studio, you're very often listening to music. What are some of your favorite tunes to listen to as you're making these creations?
Well, I'm kind of locked in my collection of now vintage CDs, which seems so old format now. But I guess I listen to a lot of both obscure and classical rock. But I've also been always been a big fan of the classics as well. So I can't really pin it down to one particular genre. It's always the loving lyrics that win me over, though, and I'm a sucker for a love song. So I don't know who hasn't tried to make a love song. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm. They make hits. Have you noticed a change in interests or tastes of the Valentine's Day public? Especially in relation to the pandemic, and in particular how people have sort of been grouped together in isolation over the past 2 years. Has that changed as you see it?
Well, I think I'm seeing people that are happy to get out, and they almost look like butterflies coming out of the cocoon, because there's, especially when the weather gets warm on occasion, people, you can see them out there, and it makes for a nice combination of, here we've got Valentine's Day, here we've got spring-like weather. I think people's attitudes are flourishing again in a positive way. Spring's on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I also see that you've brought some Valentine's Day pieces with you today. Can you give us an idea of the Valentine's Day items that visitors will find at the Jordan Van Sewell Gallery this year?
Sure, because I think usually people think that those art items are going to be very expensive. And in front of me here, I brought a couple of things. I brought the quintessential, the spinning arrow on the heart, which I think is, in some ways, addresses the very nature of art, of love. You never know where it's going to land. And the other one that I brought with me as well is a piece that I think, is that eternal love. So that each time you look at it, you realize that love is going to last a long time. So two definite positive things to ponder in this upcoming celebration of love.
I'm just going to get you to hold those up to the camera just a little bit, maybe just a little bit higher so we can see it in the video.
Sure.
Up a little bit higher. So you've got the arrow with on the heart.
The thing about it is that these items, of course, they're handmade, and I'm sure that if we could glean the surface of them and find my fingerprint eternally bound to the clay. But these things, which will last the next eon, are $30 and $40. So I like to think that there's a nice affordability attached to them.
Yeah, I know. When you think of art, you think of, crazy amounts of money. But when you go to the Jordan Van Sewell Gallery, it's reasonable.
Talk about a democracy. The idea that everybody is going to be able to own a piece of Jordan Van Sewell one day. That's where we're going.
Let's hope. The gallery is located at the top of the curly stairs at the Forks. We're in, I don't know what wave of the pandemic right now. Can you tell us about the hours that the gallery is open at the Forks?
Yes, I've been trying to maintain banker's hours there, which 11 to 4, closed Monday. And any of those days you can find the door open at the gallery. And, the lights are on and 107 going in the background. It's a cherished place to be. And I think a lot of people that come there are finding solace in it. And now they'll be able to find not only solace, but some swell Valentines as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds great. And for any of our listeners who have not been to the Jordan Van Sewell Gallery, it's just a great place. It's a nice, bright, open space there. I've been there. It's just great.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jordan, this has just been great. Thanks for stopping by and keeping me company here. I'm all by myself here in the studio. It's nice to have a visitor. It's been great chatting with you today.
It's a lovely spot, and I'm happy to be here at any time. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.